If you watch CNN, you know Tapper and Cooper and Dana and Blitzer. Our next guest is one of them. She just covered the inauguration of our new president of the United States. Starting Sunday, she is bi-monthly anchor of State of the Union with Jake Tapper, here to tell us everything she knows. Say hello to Dana Bash. Hi, Dana. How are you?
Hi, Jimmy. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being. I have to tell you, it's a little bit confusing because I'm looking at you in a monitor right now, and I feel like I'm just watching television. Is that
That's
your
so
apartment?
Weird, me too. No, this is CNN. I'm still here.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to leave.
Yeah. How many hours did you work yesterday?
Let's see. The alarm went off at 4, and then we were on the air from 7 a.m. until midnight, with a little bit of a break in between, though. But it was a long day.
Wow. What do you do in the break? Do you go to sleep?
So I tried. We had about a 2-hour break, and I was so tired by the time we got to the break. And I got into bed, and the streets were really empty here in D.C. And so I thought, okay, it's going to be quiet. For some reason, a band found its way like right under my hotel room. And it was so loud. It was so loud and I couldn't sleep. So, you know, I was so wired anyway.
Was it 3 doors down by any chance? So you guys, you guys had a big day yesterday. A lot of people watched. In fact, we learned that more people watched this inauguration than watched Donald Trump's inauguration, which I'm sure doesn't bother him at all.
No,
and
not at all.
You said something on the air. What did you say that I think some people got upset about? You said he is a small man, right, Donald Trump?
Yeah, but, you know, it was at this moment where we were watching the monitor and we were watching the overhead shot of him walking across the lawn towards the helicopter for the very last time. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, wow, he looks so small, literally. And then I realized that that is true in so many ways, and it just came tumbling out of my mouth as part of the discussion about the fact that he was doing that and he wasn't going to the inauguration of his successor.
I don't think I would last like 2 shows doing something live like that without saying something that infuriated everybody. It must be hard. Like, even the light moments, like you see Bernie Sanders sitting there. It looks like his mom put his coat on him and his mittens, and he's carrying a manila envelope for reasons unknown. And it must be, do you have to bite your tongue ever?
Yes, but you know what? Sometimes you just need levity, even, or maybe even especially in these times where everything is so intense. It's not so bad, especially when you're on TV for a million hours, like we were on Inauguration Day yesterday, to do something funny. And by the way, you mentioned Bernie Sanders and his envelope. I did some reporting, and I found out what was in that envelope, if you want to know.
Oh, what was in it?
It's actually not that exciting. It was the tickets, his inauguration tickets. It was that huge envelope, but it was just his little tickets. But he held on to the envelope with his mittens.
Isn't that beautiful? I mean, really, like, yeah, I guess it makes sense just practically that it would be hard to get at your tickets when you have mittens and a big coat on. But on the other hand, why is Bernie the only one with an envelope? And you know he reused that envelope, too. Like, he didn't throw that envelope out. That envelope is back at his house right now. It's like he's putting bills in there or something like that. You have Bernie on as your first guest as official anchor of your Sunday morning show on Sunday, correct?
Yes, he is going to be on. He's obviously that moment, maybe not just the walking down in the mittens, but him sitting there. We've all seen the memes. So he's an internet sensation, but he's also going to be the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, and he's going to have a really important role in the Biden administration because so much of what President Biden wants to do is going to go through that committee. So we're going to have a lot to talk about, and we're going to have other guests as well.
Is the inauguration fun in Washington? Is that usually like a big fun event that this year felt like you felt it was disappointing in some way?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I've covered a lot of inaugurations, and you know, as a reporter, you go to the event, you go to the Capitol. I didn't do that this year. There was limited space, not just because of security, but of course because of COVID. And and then you go to the parade. There really was not much of one, a little one. Most of it was virtual. And then you go and you cover the balls. There were no balls. We got to see some awesome fireworks. We were in a great position to see those fireworks last night. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. But
I know,
yeah,
that was amazing. I was
weren't they
watching it with
great?
my wife, and I was like, these are spectacular fireworks. It's as if they said, you know what, we're not spending any money on anything else. Let's just blow it all up in the sky. Yeah, that was
honestly,
pretty great.
we were right behind the White House. So we were facing the fireworks, and it was almost as if they were doing it for us. It was such a show. I've seen a lot of fireworks here in Washington, nothing like that. But about the inauguration, it was very different. But because of the tension over the last 2 weeks, the 2 Wednesdays before, of course, the insurrection, the Wednesday after that, the impeachment. Even though it wasn't as ebullient and there weren't people holding flags in the streets, there was something that still was really nice about the fact that they still got it together and they were still able, through all these obstacles, to do the ceremony that we're so used to seeing.
Yeah, and it was actually very entertaining and very well done. The whole thing was well put together, which is often not the case. What's the first inauguration you were at?
Well, the first inauguration that I went to was unofficial, and by unofficial, I broke in. Maybe I was in college here in Washington, and I had been interning for a local station. So I don't know if you know. I mean, when in normal times when you go to work, you have an ID, right? So this was not really an ID. It was kind of a lanyard that said the name of the station. I had 2 of them, so I gave it to my best friend, Karen Malkin, and we said, let's get up early and let's go try to get in, thinking not in a million years are we going to get in. But it was a long time ago. It was pre-9/11. This was Bill Clinton's first inauguration. So we got up early. We took the metro. We walked up the big hill at Independence Avenue, and we just kept saying to each other, walk with a purpose, walk with a purpose, pretend like you know what you're doing. And it worked. I mean, they made sure that we were okay, that we didn't have anything dangerous on us, but we got right in. We saw the names of people's seats, and we couldn't believe where we were. We snuck into the place where the cameras were going to be, but we saw behind us, and it was 1993. It was Michael Keaton, Courtney Cox, and we looked at each other thinking, I can't believe we're sitting in front of Michael Keaton and Courtney Cox. and we made it the whole time.
You had better seats than Batman and Friends. That's pretty good. Well, congratulations on the big promotion. Your first show,
Thanks.
Sunday, 9 a.m., noon Eastern, State of the Union on CNN. Dana Bash. Thanks, Dana. Appreciate it. We'll be right back
Jimmy.
with
Thanks for having
Best
me.
Coast. Thank you.
Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is ridiculous.